Welcome back to StarCraft 2. In the top right, we have LingsGudUnit playing our Red Zerg. And in the bottom left, we have our Blue Zerg playing ET. Zerg vs. Zerg, often described as a knife fight in a phone booth. So we'll see if this reflects that metaphor. Both at supply, building overlords, classic stuff. No 12 pull coming out, so looks like it's gonna be a good game. We see our Red Zerg has some skin on, and we all know that skins equals wins. So 17 pull, so going for a very safe defensive start, while our Blue Zerg goes for 17 hatch. The more economic, but a little bit more greedy. So, Overlord's coming up. We have a drone scout coming out. He's gonna go check out the main, see if there's anything going on, and then come home. Hatch started on our red side. Overlords patched there, greeting each other. Of course, they are non-combat units, and they have respect, unlike all of the Zerg units. They will not attack you on sight. They will just call people that will attack you on sight. They're kind of like the Godfather, you know? Like, you come to me on the day of my mother, or the day of my sister. Oh, wow. I just ruined it. Overlords are cool. See more Overlord crossings. Nice Overlord placement. Seeing if there's he'll see any rush coming into his natural there. So let's see if he takes the high ground base or if he chooses to go a more vertical base. And we have full saturation in both mains. Oversaturation here. That happens. It's probably going to transfer over some workers. Production tab, we've seen Queens coming out and Ling speed coming out for the blue side. So definitely going to have some Ling play here. While our top Zerg, LingsGudUnit, definitely going to, let's see here, start assaulting this Overlord. He's going to run away. Queen's going to get underneath it, and it looks like it's going to die. So, not the same happening here. This Queen's a little late, going into Roach. So, maybe not complete Ling speed. We see no Baneling Nest as a first tech unit. Let's see here. Roaches, yep. So no Baneling. They decide to go into Roach first. So very interesting that our Blue Zerg got Ling speed. But both sides sniping an Overlord, so keeping the supply even. Workers are 21 to 26. So our Red Zerg up on workers. And our Red Zerg is supply blocked. But trying to snipe another one. Queen not gonna. This is the chase of the century right here. Overlord and a Queen. And he gets it. Gets it. There we go. Queen's gonna roam back with that precious energy to give life-giving spit to the hive. We have a double Evo chamber. Strange not walling off, right? But a Roach timing attack could be critical here. We have some Roaches and some Lings coming in. The economy, not great. He's building. This is really just a one base all in. This is a one base economy. This second base just for show. Do not be fooled. Let's see. On the upgrades tab, we just have Ling speed on the blue side. Let's see what the defense is here. Oh, Overlord spots it. Roach speed almost done on this side. Going into a hive. On the blue, sorry. Roach speed done on the red side. And blue side going into a hive. Two Roaches coming out. Let's see what the defense is. Blue side should just go in. He has superior numbers. Queens aren't going to change. Ain't going to change a heavy deficit like that. He's walking around instead of attacking. Beautiful. These Roaches, that wall would have been so good. Definitely funneling those Roaches, but looks like our ET is going to get some serious damage done here. More roaches coming in on both sides. It sucks to lose these drones. However, he has plenty. He's still ahead on drones despite losing 5 or so there. Attacking egg is... The eggs are pretty tanky and hard to kill. So... Oh. Looks like that is that. Looks like we have more roaches coming across in staggered units. This could be bad if he doesn't regroup. Overlords see it. They're strategically placed to see this. So he knows what's happening. Roaches equal out. No serious damage done. Besides losing a handful of workers. We see the red side has actually lost more resources here. Those roaches are more expensive than drones, believe it or not. So every roach loss is more casualty. Red side actually building stuff, with blue side not building anything. Oh, he was supply block. Decides gonna crank in a ton of overlords. Good injects coming up. Taking our third base, starting to get it saturated. Good saturation on taking 1 gas at each base. He's not looking to tech up very quickly here. He understands that most of these matches are decided by who has the most roaches. And with the income tab, we can see that our LingsGudUnit is definitely the favored player here in income. He can replace his army very quickly. But don't forget that ET has Ling speed. So we don't have to worry too much about just roaches. If gas were to run out on the side of ET, he could just go straight. He could still run these over. Get some defensive spine crawlers. Oh, he eats some of those corrosive vials, but that's okay. Roaches are not the most fragile unit, so they will recover. Oh, Ravager's looking in. He's... see here. Oh, runs away from the corrosive bile. Waiting to these spine colors come up. This base uncontested. We see the minerals relatively spent for this elo. Better than I usually do for sure, but we see them starting to rack up. 10 worker advantage to the side of LingsGudUnit, but ET could change that at any second. Zergs are known for their explosive growth, so he could change his... Yep, you see here he's making some workers, and it's almost equal now because just Zerg mechanics. And quickly, he feels like he has enough army here to threaten. Oh, and it's looking pretty good here. I don't know, is this just one tab? About equal. A little bit more roaches over here. Plus these spine crawlers definitely tipping it into the favor of LingsGudUnit. You see here, let's look at the base saturations. That's always the dangerous thing with Zerg versus Zerg. You have to make sure that you're producing economy. And you can see this explosive economy. LingsGudUnit hiding over 1,000 minerals there. ET joining him. Looking to invest it into a spire for ET. And weapons and armor upgrades on the side of LingsGudUnit. This spire could be game changing. We do not have any hydras on this side. And no spore crawlers. So the only defense would be queens. And ET does have a good amount of gas banked up, so that could be a lot of mutas very quickly. We'll see what the defense is here. I don't know how I feel like he's gonna split his army up. He should bring his army out to fight this. He has vision over all of this. He knows how much is here. Takes off a roach. Takes off another one. 2 free roaches. Not a good fight to take. Getting out of here. Definitely. But he knows the size of his opponent's army, and it's not as threatening as his army. And with these three mutas on the way, that'd be a great time for him to engage. And he's not going to take any anti-air, so. But mutas do not do a lot of damage to roaches. So these roaches, if he takes off the army, if he takes out this army, could do huge damage. One muta's out. They do almost no damage to roaches. He's walking instead of attacking. Trying to get a good conclave. And he retreats. Regroups. No, he needs to fight this. Getting more mutas and more roaches. And missile attack 2 on the side of Zerg. Doing huge damage to these bases. These mutas cannot contest roaches. They do not do enough damage quick enough. Roaches are armored units, and armor really hurts muta's output and damage output. Since their attacks, they rely on bouncing attacks. Every time the attack bounces, it gets reduced by 1 damage. Taking out the Spire, no more mutas coming out. On the side structures here, we have just a roach war and then a spawning pool. So, yep, these mutas are gonna kill these uncontested, but gutted the base. Not really gutted, but did a good chunk of damage. Very good roach push. He finds the third base, kills the queen. So look at these mutas doing no damage to these roaches. It's taking them forever to kill them. That's why mutas are not great on the roaches if you're just going to fight. Because they just don't have the damage to do that one innate armor that roaches get. Really works wonders here. Gets the hatchery, gets out. Beautiful stuff. Hydralisk coming out. Good answer to mutas. So I can actually fight head on. These mutas should definitely not be fighting straight on. Picking off overlords is a good use of their time. Harassing bases is a good use of their time. Fighting roaches is not a good use of their time. Queen comes in, doing decent damage. Oh, looks like he's actually gonna maybe find this base is. He has to kill more than 9 to be effective. He kills the queen. A few hydras here, a few queens definitely can take this fight. And he does. Huge damage coming out. Mutas. He gets all but 1 worker in this main base before he has to leave. Mutas, of course, have good health regen, so they're going to get their HP back. Let's see how LingsGudUnit responds. Of course, Ita going through some lings. Realizing mutas are not going to do the job here. Needs more than that. Has not rebuilt his... Oh, he's about to rebuild his base. LingsGudUnit has yet to replace his overlord that was here, but still, decent vision. And he's just going to build up his army. Not a bad call. Bank up a lot of gas here, bank up a lot of minerals. Wonder how he's going to spend them. Oversaturation here. Definitely going to redistribute some, yep. But most likely from the Mutalisk attack, he's going to redistribute here. On a very, very healthy worker count here. The power of Zerg is your army's not the strongest of the 3 races. However, the ability to replace this army is unparalleled. And with Zerg vs. Zerg, that is more important than anything else. You just want to keep throwing stuff at each other until eventually one person runs out of money. And that person will be ET at this case. So he needs to make a critical play here or start jump-starting his economy. We see... I thought they were moving out. Not quite yet. See production coming out. Getting... Huh. What does his army look like? Getting both attack upgrades. Not the most effective. Usually want to stick to one or the other, especially with tier 1. Definitely a little late on that. Hydra's coming out. Let's see. Let's look at the upgrades tab. We have just Ling speed. The other side has Roach speed. Plus 2 missiles, plus 1 carapace. So, not bad. Getting some creep spread over here. Oh, and we have a Muta attack. Queens say no. Queens actually do a ton of damage to air units. They attack twice to air units if they can. So, and they have more range. So a little bit more damage. A good healthy bit of range. Mutas are not going to break this anytime soon. He needs to distract these queens somehow. Queens are great units, great for early defense, and obviously injecting, which it seems like LingsGudUnit has done a beautiful job of. He is maxed out. He has double the supply of his opponent. Let's see what he does. Honestly, the ball is in Ling's court right now. He can just march over and kill his opponent. He hasn't scouted, so he doesn't know that. But ET, unfortunately, does not have the economy. He does not have a bank buildup minus gas. If he goes into heavy tank units, so we see, is this an infestation pit coming out? Oh, it's another evolution chamber. That's really slow. If that's the second one. This army is very unimpressive. We see the Roach Hydra, a lot of Hydra. So a lot of damage coming out. Not as much survivability, but a lot of damage. Obviously, the more Roaches you have in Roach Hydra, the more tanky your army is. While the more Hydras you have, the more damage you do. We see a clump here. Clump of Overlords. This was the Overlord waiting area being gutted. Not supply blocking ED though. And it's going to take this fringe base. ED decides to get a flank. This could be a good engage if he goes in. He splits off the army effectively. He gets to surround with the Lings. Hydras come in, do a ton of damage. But there's a lot of army still left, and we see LingsGudUnit is replacing it as quickly as he loses it with that bank he built up. There's just too much damage there, and not enough damage on the side of ED. Those are not high damage units, mutas. They are harass units. So spending his money on that is not money well spent. Picking off these Lings as they come in. Definitely do not want to engage into that many Hydras. GG. Good game. Enjoy your ladder points. Beautiful, beautiful show of the idea behind ZVZ. All right. Beautiful.